Hello, family. Happy Saturday. It's your girl, Sharita, the Behavior and Learning Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and learning challenges. Listen up. I got a good one for y'all today. Now, I know that many of you have, your child has gone back to school, and then the rest of us, our kids are going back to school in September. This is so important for you to do before you send your child into that classroom, or if they already in school, before they really get into the rhythm. Okay? You want to ask your child what grades they want to earn this year. Okay? Now, usually we say, do good in school. Do your best. Try your best. We try to equip them before they go in, especially if they had a rough year the previous year. We're like, oh my gosh. And we're trying to get them ready and equip them and tell them everything they need to know. So instead of telling them this year, we're going to give them ownership. We're going to raise their awareness, their self-awareness, and we're going to get them goal-focused by asking them what grades they want to earn this year. Okay? So when you ask them what grades they want to earn, there has to be a process afterwards. And I'm going to give you that process today. Because you want the conversation to keep thinking. You want that to just be the entry point, right? But you want them to keep thinking, because a child can say, I want to get A's, but not know how to get A's, how to earn A's. A child may say, I want to earn A's, or they might say, I want to earn at least a C, because they don't believe that they can earn A's. They might say, I want to earn A's, but since they had a really difficult year last year, or they've never earned an A, they don't really believe that they're going to be able to do it. So they're just saying it, and they already think they're going to fail. So we have to get them to expand. We have to get them to talk about last year. I ask them, well, what kind of grades did you get last year? And have them think about it and tell you. Okay, we have to reflect first. All right, have them tell you, and then ask them how they think their year went. This is what I do every year for my own kids, right? But also, when I was teaching special education, my students, in the beginning of the year, I always ask them these questions. And then we would sit down one-on-one, right? While I have the rest of the class doing an activity, right? Or doing an assignment. I would pull students one by one, and we would sit down and we would talk about their goals. And then we would do this every month, actually. Their goals, what they want to accomplish, how the previous month went, or the last year. And I will ask them why they think it went that way, what they will change, what they want to change this year. What do you want to get better at? What do you want to improve this month, right? If this is the grade that you want, what do you think stopped you from earning that grade last month, last market period, last year? What do you think got in the way? Kids are incredibly perceptive, and when we ask them questions for them to think, they will tell you a lot, and it will have them connect with themselves. They might have these thoughts about their grades, thoughts about their ability, thoughts about their performance. It might be just floating up in the air, these thoughts. But when you ask them these questions, it brings it to them. Okay, they can now grasp it. They now feel some sense of control. They feel a sense of ownership. They have self-awareness, and they feel empowered, because they are themselves reflecting on their own situation. Okay, so I will ask them these questions, and this is why I will ask you. But teachers can do the same thing. But parents, have these conversations with your kids. But don't talk too much. Let them do most of the talk. You do more questions. And don't evaluate their responses. Don't say, well, you would have been able to do this if you did that. No, that's their job. Okay? Because if you give kids space to think and you put the responsibility on them, you ask them these questions, they will do that themselves. They will say, I wanted an A last year, or I wanted a B last year, but I wasn't doing my work. And you say, what got in the way? I wasn't doing my work. Then I'll say, oh, so you think if you do your work this year, if you complete more assignments, you'll get a better grade? Yeah. Right? They will take ownership, right? But if you keep asking them to expand on it, if that's what they're saying, right, then they feel more comfortable talking, okay? So you're going to reflect last year. So the first step is asking them what grades they want to achieve this year, right? And then when they say it, then you're going to ask them about last year or previous year, not in a critical way, not criticizing, but more like asking them to think about what they want to accomplish last year and what got in the way. They think. What do you think got in the way? Okay? And what is your plan? Use that word. What is your plan this year to take care of that, to change that, to improve in this area so you can accomplish your goal? And let them start talking, okay? Like I said, I did this frequently last year. I'm sorry, when I was a special education teacher. That was years ago. Now I'm a tutor and coach online. And my students and I, this is around the time when I start asking these questions. I actually have them write about it, write about the grades they want to earn, write about the grades they had before, and if they didn't accomplish their goals, what got in the way, what they're going to do this year, what is their plan to achieve the grades that they want to achieve. Okay? So if you add those steps in the conversation, ask more questions, let the kids make the decisions, because if they make the decisions about their grades and what they're going to accomplish, what they're going to do, how they're going to accomplish it, they will take ownership, they will be self-aware, okay? And it will mean something to them, okay? And then have them write everything down and hang it up, so that in a place where they're going to see all the time, so that they can be reminded of what their desires truly are, their true desires when it comes to their education, when it comes to success, what their true desires are. So when they have a tough day and they want to throw it all away, when they want to give up, that paper will be up on the wall as a reminder of how they truly feel, not the hard moment that they're going through. It will also be a reminder of the conversation the two of you had when you listen and you ask them about their goals and their dreams, because these are the goals and dreams of kids when this is their world, right? School. So their goals and their dreams, how you listened, how you asked them, how you sat there and you listened to them like it mattered, okay? They will be reminded of it. And every so often you can have them review it. Now, here's another tip I just thought to add to this right now. Find a wall to hang it up, right? And I will hang up more than one copy, actually. I have some my daughter's goals, my 9-year-old. They're in the living room on a wall where we usually sit. And then there's copies in her bedroom, and there's a copy in the kitchen, and then there's a copy in the family room. So all the places where she frequents, they're there, okay? As a reminder. It's structure that's put in the home that works without you having to say anything. That's the beautiful thing about it. And again, the kids can take ownership of it because it's there, and they were a part of it, okay? So that's what I have with my daughter. I will put it up in multiple places, but I would dedicate one wall in your home to being a success wall, So when they're in school and they get a good grade on a test, or they get some good feedback from their teacher on an assignment they submitted, and they bring it home, or the report card is looking good, you know what I mean? Or you see an improvement. That's another thing. It doesn't have to be the perfect report card yet, because we're going to grow throughout the year. So you can have, if you see any improvement in their grades, put the previous report card up and then a new one, okay, next to each other. And then on a strip of paper, write the word growth and great job, and put it on top, like in the middle of those two sheets, right? Tell you the truth, y'all, I'm thinking of these new additions as we're talking right now, because I'm getting excited, right? So that's what I would do. Definitely create a success wall, put their report cards up there, put their progress reports up there, and acknowledge the growth, but also put up any quizzes or tests, or the scores. If your child does map testing and it shows an improvement, your teacher tells you about it, put it up there. That's their success wall and their growth wall. See, for kids, and not just kids, adults also, but success and growth has to be something that's front and center. It has to be a priority. It has to be something that they're seeing all the time, thinking about all the time, and working on all the time. We can't just talk about a goal, or your child has a goal and then it's never talked about, except when they start to slip, except when you see a little regression, or except when they have a bad day. Then we bring it up and say, you said you wanted to earn this grade. How are you going to do that if you're doing this? No, it has to be going on all the time, consistently. You have to be reviewing it consistently. It has to be in the forefront consistently. It has to be celebrated consistently. So on the bad days, their goals and their growth and their progress are bigger for all of you, for you too, than the bad days. I'm telling you they are. I'm telling you they are. So those are the tips that I have. But I gotta tell you, this is highly important. Bottom line, your child, if you want growth this year, if you want success this year, bottom line, your child has to work harder than they've ever worked before. They have to work. They must work harder than they've ever worked before. No excuses. I'm telling you, before you start saying, well, it's difficult for my child. Well, my child gets overwhelmed. Well, my child needs a lot of help and assistance. Before you start saying it, well, my child, this works for some kids, but not for my child. Or because my child has ADHD. Or before you start doing that, whether your child does have difficulties, they may have difficulty with these issues in these areas, or they may be diagnosed with ADHD or autism. And I work with students who have ADHD and also autism. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. They have to, if they want to grow, they have to work harder this year. They have to work harder, okay? Now, let me just speak in general. If your child wants higher grades, and if you want your child to achieve higher grades this year, they're not going to achieve them if they're not doing the work. There's no way. If they don't complete their assignments, if they're missing assignments, right? And this is your child's pattern and how they approach the routines of the classroom, the expectations of their teachers. If they really don't think it's important when the teacher puts a do now on a board or on a screen, if they don't think it's time to get to work and they do their work and they get it done, if they don't think like that and they don't do that, and when it's time to complete homework, they don't care about the homework, they're not thinking about the homework, and they let it be late, and they let the teacher come to them to try to run them down to get the homework, if your child is doing that, you cannot expect your child to be successful. It's not the teacher's fault. It's not the setup of the classroom. It's not, if your child won't do the work, they will not be successful. So number one in all of this, and I know some people might disagree with me, number one in all of this, your child's mindset around their responsibility has to change. They must do their work. It's a requirement. They don't have a choice, right? Of course, we all have choices in life, but a lot of kids today really think they have a choice when a teacher tells them to do something. They really think they have a choice of whether they feel like doing it or not. No. If you want success, the number one thing you have to do is work. Now, if you really want success, your child needs to work in school, do everything the teacher tells them to do, but also they need to work at home. If you really want success, and you really want your child to understand that it's time to change the game, and it's time to really put the effort in, take ownership of this thing so that they can be successful. If you really want, they have to work in the classroom, but they also have to work at home. You're going to need to make your child work harder than they've ever worked before. Your child is going to need to, we talked about doing chores at home, right? When I did the previous topics, we talked about taking responsibility for chores at home. We talked about following directions the first time. We talked about respecting the teachers and respecting you. And there was a big debate. There was a big debate on TikTok, right, and Instagram, of people being upset about what I was saying and debating on whether a child should get respect before they give respect, right? There was all that really distracted from the fact that no matter what, your child needs to walk into that classroom understanding they need to respect the teacher and follow the teacher's directions if they go in there and focus on success. If they're not focused on success and they focus on what they want to do and what they feel like doing, then they're going to make respect with the teacher and the tug of war between the teacher and the issue. It's a non-issue. It should be a given. They should go into the class ready to respect the teacher, ready to sit down and listen for directions or follow the routines, take initiative, be ready so they don't have to get ready, and do a great job. They should be focused. If they're focused on that, respect with the teacher is not an issue. The majority of cases, and 98% of cases, like I'm going to say it like that, respect is not an issue if your child goes into the classroom ready to do what they're supposed to do. Now, in other cases where maybe there is an issue with the teacher for real, okay, I understand. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But in general, across the board, if we want our classrooms to improve, and we want our kids to be successful, and we want to focus on excellence, and we want the teachers to stop quitting, right? They need to go into the classroom ready to respect the teacher. So we've talked about that as well. Now I'm going to tell you that your child, you need to require that your child work and study at home. They must, if they're going to grow. Okay? I see in my tutoring coaching program this summer, I implemented a homework program where I send homework to all my students, and the students complete the homework and they send it back to me. And it's written, by the way. It's not typed in, right? It's written so I can really see it. I need them to work, first of all. I need them to work because I believe that there's growth in the pencil and the notebook. I believe that there's growth. So it's all written, and it really helps me understand what they understand. Okay? And then I customize the next homework assignment based on what they've given me. And I ask the parents to not do it for them, to not help them complete it, because I need to see where they are, how much they've progressed, and also I need to see what they're having difficulty with. I need to understand where with the way they complete their homework, where is the hesitation, right? And I need to see this. I won't see this if the parents are there helping them, because the child is not focused on it themselves and giving me. I don't have a snapshot of where the child is. I only have a snapshot of where the child is with help, and we don't do that here, because the help is not where the growth is, right? And I tell parents, after they submit the homework, if you want to work with your child, then by all means. But I need them to do the work first, okay? The growth that I've seen since I implemented this homework program, it's probably been about 4 weeks. The growth that I've seen in my students, in their homework, because each of them have customized homework for them, in their homework, and also in the classroom, proves that our kids need to be working at home. They need to be. If your child is behind academically, if they're functioning below grade level, if they're struggling with focus, if they're struggling with completing assignments, if they're more focused on the game or the iPad or their phone than studying, homework is essential for your child. It's just essential. Let's just get it out the way, right? Let's just get that out the way. Let's let it be known. Your child needs to be doing homework. Homework, if done right, is where the growth happens, okay? And then your child gets sent into the class equipped for success, ready for success, and can handle things in the classroom because they're already building up that muscle at home, and they're already growing. So when the teacher is teaching them, they'll be more focused because they already practiced focusing at home. If you do it right, okay? And I'll do a live soon on how to help your child with homework, because this is something that I learned as a mother, and I've been teaching parents over the years, and also the same principles apply in my class, right? So make sure that so I'll teach you all that, okay? But if done right, your child will grow consistently in the classroom. You now have an expectation. They're building up that muscle every day. They're focusing every day. They're getting better every day because they are looking at some words, a story, their own writing, their own math, and how they break down the steps. They're studying all the time, okay? You will see growth. So, let's make that commitment, parents. Before your child goes back to school, ask them what kind of grades they're going to get this year, what they want to earn. And then, instead of saying, if you're in this grade, I'll buy you this. If you're in this grade, I'll get this for you. I'll do this. No, hold off on that, because the best kind of growth comes from students doing the work for the satisfaction of becoming successful, not for what their parents will give them, okay? You can get something for them because overall you see they're doing a good job, but don't tie them actually doing the work that they need to do for success to some game that you're going to buy them, the new sneakers you're going to buy them. Don't tie it. This is their. Let them take ownership. Let them take ownership of it. You won't even believe how many times I hear with students saying, I'm so proud of myself. I did it myself. I kept going. I figured it out because I didn't give up. Let them have it. Okay? And if they expect you to do something for them to do the work, tell them, nah, we're not doing that this year. That's your responsibility. Okay? So ask them what grades they want to accomplish. Reflect on a previous year. Ask them what they think. Instead of saying, why didn't you do this? Ask them, what do you think got in the way of you achieving this, what you wanted to achieve last year? What's your plan to get better in these areas so this is not a problem for you this year? What are you going to do? What do you think you should do? What do you think? If he asks you, what do you think I should do? Let's throw it back on. What do you think you should do? Oh yeah, that's what you think you should do? Okay, that sounds good. What do you think? You think it sounds good? Keep throwing it back to them. Let them figure it out. Have them write it down. Put it up on the wall. Review it with you regularly. Have them read it aloud. Have them learn how to read it aloud if they're having a hard time with that. Have them learn how to read it aloud. Create a success wall for them. Have them always be hanging up things they achieved in school. Okay? And review that. Talk about success. Talk about their goals all the time. Keep that high standard and expectation. And last but not least, make sure they are working hard at home every single day. They are doing some reading. They have a book. They're practicing their reading. It don't take long. Don't think that you're inconveniencing them or you're putting too much on them because you're making sure they study every day. You are helping them create a future of success. You're also helping them create study habits. You know how hard it is for teachers to get kids to complete their homework? Because the kids really think it's the adult's job to make them do it or to make it easier for them to get it done. No. Have them study every single day. 30 minutes. And then as that becomes easy, you can up to 45 minutes or even an hour as they get older. Right? But every day they should be sitting down peacefully, growing themselves. It might not be peaceful at first, but it will get there, trust me. Growing themselves, getting better. I don't care if they need to read the same paragraph every day until they master it. When they master the first sentence and the second sentence and the third sentence and the fourth sentence, they're going to gain more and more confidence. And guess what? The fifth sentence is going to go by like this because now they are focused on it. They have experienced success. They're making the connections they need to make to be able to read more unfamiliar words. The success is going to accelerate once your child builds up the habit of attaining these many successes. Make sure they are working hard. They're going to need to work harder this year than they've ever worked before. No more letting them chill, take all these breaks, spend more time on their devices than they do on their own growth. No. Don't go by what they want to do. Go by what you think they need. Trust your mom's intuition. You understand me? Trust your mom's intuition. Trust it and make sure that your baby is on a journey to success because they will get there. Okay? And you believe it first. You believe it first and then they will believe it. When they see your belief, when they see your faith, and they also see themselves achieving great things, oh my gosh. That's a combination right there. All right. So I hope y'all doing good. Hope you're enjoying this Saturday. We have like a month left for our kids to start school. Think about it now. Let's go. For our kids who are starting school in September. And then some of us have started school in August. That's okay. Get started right now. What inspired this live today? I heard my daughter, my 9-year-old, say, I can't wait to go back to school and get straight A's. I almost fell out the chair. I didn't know that was a goal of hers. Right? But I have helped kids create goals over the years. This is the first time my daughter has told me before I even had the conversation with her. And this shows you that the more that you instill these values in your kids, the more that you practice with them, the more you talk about them, or at their own pace, or at their own special time, it will click and they will take it over. So trust the process, all right? All right, loves? I love y'all so much. And I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm wishing you and your child the best school year that you ever had. All right? If you have any questions for me, I tutor kids, elementary school. I'm just tutoring elementary school this year, okay? Elementary level students. Online, I have students all over the country, okay? And help them improve behaviorally and also academically at the same time. Making choices, improving focus, also improving reading, math, okay? reading comprehension. A lot of parents ask about that. Writing. We are very intensely working on our writing workshop right now and making great progress. It's going amazing. You know what I mean? Sight words. I've taught so many kids how to master and apply the adult sight word list. Is a requirement to graduate from and get promoted from one level in my program to the next. So I've had countless kids achieve that goal. All right. So if you're looking for a tutor and a coach, someone who's going to love on your child but also be tough on them when they need it, then send me a message and we will contact you and help set you up for a free consultation. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Saturday. Believe in yourself. Believe in your child. And always remember that growth is unlimited. And we got this. Peace.